here.
Well, these are always so important.
First, we're in to top 4 at LAIC. Kicking things off with that Gimme Ghoul in the active spot for Ilya. Over on Brent's side, we do see that Hoot Hoot. And Ilya's going to kick things off with that Buddy Buddy Poffin, aiming to search the deck for 2 Pokemon with 70 HP or less and adding them to the bench.
Sounds like a Gimme Ghoul party to me, starting with that Pokemon in the active spot. Always a nice thing to see. You're not expecting too much pressure over on Brent's side. Of course, we say that, and then top 8, game 2, he just takes a turn 1 knockout for the win. So you have to look out for it, but I don't expect to see that here with the Hoot Hoot start.
Yeah, probably not going to be happening here on Brent's side, but Ilya is going to just take an opportunity here to get the board set up, taking an opportunity as well to check the prize cards. Got to point out as well that Buddy Buddy Poffin, I do believe the international promo that our players get for competing in this event. Love to see Ilya taking an advantage of the opportunity to play a card, even if it is in Portuguese, that they would not be able to play at any other tournament outside of this region.
Yeah, I think we all recognize the art by now. If that's in your opening hand on turn 1, it's almost as sad as the Battle VIP Pass days. It's like, oh, well, my opponent's going to play Pokemon, aren't they?
There is one Gimme Ghoul coming down, and just the one Gimme Ghoul on the grab for Ilya. Are there another couple in the hand, potentially?
Yeah, that's always something to think about. Also, it could be you're thinking about your opponent and that Trifrost that can come from the Kyurem if you don't want to overbench, if you don't have an opportunity to evolve these Pokemon.
It does look like there is at least one Gimme Ghoul in this hand currently. Nope, there's both of them.
All right.
It's a party.
Wow, look at the art, too. I mean,
such a good one.
This is what we're here to see.
Looks like a couple Ultra Ball in the hand. That can lead to some Golden Go on the next turn. I think maybe a Full Art Supporter. Yeah, looks like it is that Cypher Maniac's code breaking. So some pretty interesting things lined up for Ilya on the next turn, potentially. Now we are over to Brent. He's going to kick off his opening hand. What are you seeing, Kyle?
Well, the fact that there were 2 mulligans may have helped out here. We see a few energies in there. Looks like 2 copies of those 3 fire energies along with 1 of the grass, and when you have that nest ball, it means you have an opportunity to continue to expound on this, maybe find that Teal Mask Ogerpon, or place that fire where it rightfully belongs on Regidrago.
Yeah, Brent will go into the deck initially here with the nest ball. Takes a moment to check the prize cards, moving all the Pokemon to the front of the deck, all the energy cards to the back, making it much easier and much quicker, trying to be as efficient as possible to get that knowledge. It's so important whenever you're trying to combo together very specific turns, you're trying to work together all of the pieces. Knowing what your 6 prize cards are is a huge advantage.
It's just like playing on the Pokemon trading card game live. It lines it up for you in that order, and maybe that's where Brent feels comfortable.
Off that nest ball, it will indeed be the Regidrago V, ready to set up for a V-Star on the next turn. One of those fire energy in the hand can certainly be attached. We'll have to see what else is available to Brent here. He is going second. It is his opening turn, but now he will be able to play a supporter card to try to further his setup as well.
Yeah, typically players are lining up that turn 1 Professor's Research to go further into the deck, find more resources, establish that bench. But we know how players love to hold on to resources too. It just depends on how this all lines up. A lot of tech inclusions in the hand there.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
I don't think there's much happening. Is there a supporter at all? There's the Squawkabilly EX.
That is basically a supporter.
All right, that will work indeed. That Squawk and Seize ability, you can only use it on your first turn, but that effect is really strong, discarding your hand and drawing 6 new cards. Off of the 6, Brent is able to find a Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Not too much else working, though. No supporter card. We will indeed see the Teal Dance after that Pokemon is benched, attaching an energy card, drawing 1 card for turn. What was he able to hit?
Looks like another Regidrago there. There's 2 in the hand Regidrago V-Stars, so plenty to go at next turn. But this one is starting to slow down. It looks like you've done enough, though, at this point. You're threatening that Trifrost on the second turn. Your opponent realizes this and now needs to evolve as fast as possible.
We'll see what happens for Ilya over on this turn. Top deck of an Iono does open up some potential possibilities. Or do you just go with the Cypher Maniac's code breaking here? Able to stack 2 cards on top of the deck, draw right into them with the coin bonus. Plenty of options. What would you like to see here from Ilya?
Right, when you're facing down a Pokemon like the Hoot Hoot on the other side, you don't need to do nearly as much damage as you'd expect. It's just 2 energies to discard and take a knockout. So if you use your Cypher Maniac's code breaking here and just go grab a couple more of your Goldingos, you're going to have an opportunity to just draw into an Earthen Vessel and take a knockout.
It is true. I have to wonder as well, though, for Ilya, is he worried about and thinking about not going on these odd prizes, right? Got to take 6 to win the game. If you knock out the singular Hoot Hoot, I guess one of the benefits could be, though, that it would make it more difficult for Brent to use Radiant Charizard, which is definitely a really strong option for Brent in this matchup.
Yeah, you could see a pass of the turn, but ultimately the most important piece of this is evolve these Gimmighoul as soon as possible. You can't allow your opponent to knock out, honestly, even one of them. If you want to be in a good spot, you want to just evolve them all and keep drawing as many cards as you can.
We will see that first Gholdengo EX. Of course, it is the matching secret illustration rare artwork. I would have expected nothing less at this point, and I think Ilya recognizes that, hey, 2 specific cards could be nice, but I need a little bit more to work with. Iona will be the supporter of choice. Both players placing their hands on the bottom of the deck and now drawing a card for each of their remaining prize cards. On the draw for Ilya, we do see another Gholdengo EX. Looks like Radiant Greninja was found as well, maybe even that Pokestop in hand.
Yeah, plenty of draw to be had here, and that also includes the active coin bonus, waiting to use that ability until after the supporter to maximize resources here. Now 8 full cards in the hand, and they're looking pretty good.
Is able to find an energy card, can use this concealed cards on Radiant Greninja to discard it, drawing 2 from the top of the deck. Let's see what else is able to be found. Looks like an Earthen Vessel and a Nest Ball. Not going to be seeing too much help from the Nest Ball here, but Earthen Vessel is not too bad to find at all.
We still have that evolution in hand, so that's 1 more additional card that can be drawn by way of coin bonus from the bench.
You know, just 1 single card now. Coin bonus drawing you 2 cards when Gholdengo EX is in the active spot, but only 1 card when it's on the bench. There is another Gholdengo EX. What a setup we are starting to see here. Another energy card able to be found. It does look like there is superior energy retrieval in hand, and I think we'll see Ilya try to maximize the value of that potential card, maybe with discarding with the Ultra Ball, but no, not before a Pokestop comes down.
Yeah, using this before, and now you see the Gholdengo go to the discard pile, but I mean, there's always that opportunity. You could find this Pokemon back by way of a Night Stretcher.
Yeah, there's a couple of those in the list. I don't think Ilya can complain too much here, though. I mean, 3 Gholdengo EX on turn 2. That's really how you draw it up.
No, come on. We want to be drawing 5 cards a turn after we draw for our opening start. This has got to be the way we do this.
And I think we will probably see this Hoot Hoot go down. Does take the odd prize, which normally you want to avoid, but in this specific instance, it's really not too bad. It'll deny the Noctowl. It'll make it more difficult for Brent to use the Radiant Charizard. There is no Metal Energy currently in the hand, but it looks like there are quite a few ways to get it. No, it is just the superior energy retrieval.
Soul Earthen Vessel.
I actually think that is a letter of encouragement. It looks similar, but not quite.
Well, nothing's being knocked out just yet.
Yeah, another great way for this deck to just add more energy cards to the hand. We will indeed see this Ultra Ball being played, grabbing a Pokemon out of the deck. It does discard an energy card, and I think this is Ilya just trying to maximize the potential of the superior here. Wants to get 4 back.
Sure, and you can go ahead and grab 1 more Pokemon now. If you discard this Spiritomb, I think you're going to be A-okay. You're not attacking with the Palkia in many scenarios in this spot, so you don't need to preserve these additional basic Pokemon.
4 energy cards in the discard pile will line up nicely for superior energy retrieval. Discarding 2 cards from the hand in order to bring back up to 4 cards, energy cards from that discard pile. 1 metal able to be found to power up the Make It Rain attack. And we are indeed going to see it rain right now. 2 energy discarded, KO of the Hoot Hoot. 1 prize to Ilya, kicking off this game.
Yeah, I don't think it gets much better than this, Chip. That is a fantastic start here. I suppose if you're taking down a V Pokemon, you'd be feeling really nice. But the denial of the Noctowl is something you really have to focus on here. Just all of these resources. Fezidipity trying to assist, and maybe that'll be some help to see the Ultra Ball.
Yeah, we do see the flip the script. Can only be used when your opponent has knocked out a Pokemon during their last turn, but the ability is super strong. You get to draw yourself 3 cards, and Brent is going to continue to draw cards through use of the Teal Dance on the Teal Mask Ogre Pawn EX, attaching that energy, drawing one more card. Looks like an Ultra Ball has been able to be found. I do think there is a Regidrago V-Star in the hand. There were a couple last turn, but we do know that Ilya did play an Iono last turn. One more Teal Dance coming in now, drawing one more, seeing if he can find some other stuff to work with. Another Ultra Ball that could guarantee an attacker here.
And at this point, you have to be thinking about your prize map. You're trying to set up a way to clean this game up. But for your opponent, it was just a one prize Pokemon that you surrendered to Ilya in the start. So if you can chain together multiple Regidrago V-Star, maybe use this Giratina for a big knockout, that would be pretty helpful.
Brent's going to need to find a few more pieces here, I think. Needs to find energy switches, at least one, in order to get an extra energy on this active Regidrago V. Can, of course, attach for turn. Earthen Vessel does get rid of the Giratina. I will be interested to see here, what does Brent go with? You have the option to try to spread some damage, like you mentioned, with the with the Dragapult EX, or do you just go for the knockout, take out this two-prize Pokemon right away?
Yeah, it always depends on what amount of energies you're playing and what counts you're focused on. We've seen so many basic energy here from Brent. It seems like you're going to be just fine if you just lose these energies to the loss zone right now.
Yeah, one of the things that the Dragapult play could get punished potentially by a Professor Turo scenario. That could shut down any of the prize mapping that Brent wanted to go for. So I think what he may do here is, after taking this knockout with the Lost Impact, we may see him try to utilize Radiant Charizard a couple of times in a row.
Yeah, there's a chance to use the Radiant Charizard early, or if you can go back to this Giratina V-Star, then incorporate that Radiant Charizard. Either way, you should be able to handle 3 Golden Go, but it's a lot of resources we're asking for, and Ilya is looking to make a big push here, not only taking a knockout, but maybe thinking about that hand disruption.
And how about this? We do see the Letter of Encouragement from Ilya, a very rarely played card, but it makes too much sense in Golden Go EX decks. You can only use it when one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, but you get to search yourself out 3 energy cards and add them to the hand. Now a Hisuian Heavy Ball will be played for Ilya. Does not have any Pokemon, basic Pokemon that is, in the prize cards, so will not be able to get that swap going, but gets the knowledge just in case he was unaware of just about everything going on in the prizes. Plenty of energy cards. Looks like we are going to see a concealed cards lined up to draw 2.
Yeah, what a hand. Typically players would be pretty frustrated looking at a hand of 6 energies, but this is exactly where Ilya would like to be. There's still 3 cards remaining to be drawn here by way of the double coin bonus and the Pokestop, so this turn is nowhere close to done. Plenty of resources to be seen, and as you mentioned with the Letter of Encouragement, you're also thinning out all those energies. Now you're going to draw into the good stuff.
Yeah, and it also opens you up to be able to Pokestop into some item cards. We've yet to see the Pokestop be used. Here comes coin bonus number 2, this one just for 1 single card. Some interesting cards being found here. Superior Energy Retrieval, you don't really need it, you've got plenty of energy cards in hand, but Boss's Orders opens itself up as an option.
Yeah, Boss's Orders is a way to take a knockout on a Pokemon that maybe you don't have to surrender as many energies to when you're taking a big knockout. So if you don't have the energies to combat against a Regidrago later on in the game, why not take out a Pokemon like that Squawkabilly?
We are going to see this Origin Form Palkia V put into play, potentially hoping for the option of a Subspace Swell in the future. Higher HP Pokemon that can still deal really solid damage. It's not too bad of an option. Look at this hand of all energy cards here for Ilya. It looks like it will be a KO on this active Regidrago incoming.
Not much else to do. Considerations for the Pokestop, but we've seen this backfire for some players before. It looks like that might not even need to be necessary here. And this is a great thing about playing against these decks that feature these Pokemon V and V-Star is you're taking multiple prize knockouts here. You can surrender some of these water energies with your superior, and you're going to have plenty to finish a game.
Attachment for turn of the metal to the active needs to discard 6 energy cards from the hand in order to get to the 280 mark. It will be 300 damage. Well, that's what you got to get to in multiples of 50, and there it is, 6 energies going down. Ilya does take the lead back, 3 prizes to 4, but Brent's board position is looking pretty decent here. Let's see how he can respond.
Right now, we've seen that he's already lost that Regidrago V-Star, but likely to see another one coming back into the active spot already in the hand now. And the Legacy Star, if you don't have the energy switches, you know you're going to have them pretty soon.
Yeah, it looks like we're over on Brent's side now. He was able to use the flip the script of the Fezandipity EX in order to draw 3 cards. Now we're seeing him use that teal dance to draw a card. We'll see what he's got over there. What is he working with?
It's a massive hand over there. There's plenty going on. We see the fire energy in hand too, which is a card that typically can be more difficult to find. So I'm liking what we're seeing so far. Double energy switch. This might not even require Legacy Star.
You may be able to set it up without that and be able to hold on to Legacy Star for a future turn. Nestball now will search the deck for any basic Pokemon to put it onto the bench.
Yeah,
and he's going with another Regidrago V.
I love this. You don't need Legacy Star on the following turn, or on this turn, so why not set up to use it as a support Pokemon on the following turn? This will be your way to make sure that Radiant Charizard takes the closing 2 prize cards.
Golden Go EX being weak to fire is a massive deal here because the Radiant Charizard hits for 250. Golden Go EX with that 260 hit points, unable to withstand the heat. Ooh. Radiant Charizard is going to be the option more than likely here for Brent to close this game out. Pair of energy switch, moving the energies up to the active Regidrago V-Star. And I think we're going to see yet another Lost Impact taking 2 more prizes.
The fire energy potentially going to the Lost Zone. These are the energies that you need for the Radiant Charizard, but with 3 copies, feels comfortable losing that right now.
He does have 3 copies, but he's got to make sure he can find them. I don't know what he wants to hang on to the grass energy for on the active Regidrago V-Star. Maybe planning for some, if this active Regidrago doesn't get knocked out, he feels like he'll have more access to a fire energy than the grass energy, so I guess that's what he's thinking through here. Ilya now with a little bit of a think, trying to figure out exactly what the best line is going to be. Does send up this Golden Go EX, and now the draw for turn.
And after that explosive opener that we've seen, it's been a little slower on this side for Ilya. Seen plenty of cards, but we haven't seen any advantage built on the board. It's just been Golden Go after Golden Go falling by the wayside, and no recovery options yet.
I think Ilya really wants to find that last copy of Iono in the deck. We saw the first one used early on. There are 2 copies in this list. I think operation number 1 right now needs to be disrupt my opponent.
Yeah, at least, what, 30 cards down at this point, and yet to see it. You've used your coin bonus, and you're trying to draw a little further. But is it Radiant Greninja time, just trying to draw into this last piece?
Looks like a Buddy Poffin will be played, searching the deck for 2 Pokemon with 70 HP or less. Is the Iono in the deck?
I think it's at the top.
Oh, was the next card.
Along with the A-Spec as well.
Oh, that would have been a really good pair of cards to draw into off concealed cards. Ilya held off on using Radiant Greninja. That draw of Iono plus the Prime Catcher would have led to a 2 prize knockout while putting Brent down to just a couple cards. I do think, though, Ilya wants to make sure that he's knocking out this active Pokemon. And is his only way to move this active? Yeah, I think he's going to have to be taking the knockout with Golden Go. We're actually seeing this Morty's Conviction be played as the supporter for turn. You have to discard another card from your hand in order to use it. And then you draw a card for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon, drawing 5 cards in this spot. Ilya's hand is massive. He has so many options. He has so much to work with. He's going to continue through with this Pokestop.
Yeah, finds a counter catcher to go along with this.
I think it's got to be a knockout on this active Regidrago, though.
Yeah, it really depends. If you expect your opponent to already have the Legacy Star, maybe you go after a Pokemon like Fezandipity, but you haven't disrupted the hand. You know the resources are likely there already. How do you play around this? Your opponent's just looking for 2 more prize cards.
Ilya's looking for the answers. 3 more cards will be drawn from the deck with the Flip the Script. There's another Night Stretcher. Could see another Golden Go be put back into play. No shortage of ways to KO this active, but it will only be for 2 prize cards. It's just going to be a question of, does Brent have the pieces to close out the game on the next turn?
And Brent's been compiling these resources so wisely without using the Legacy Star. Looks like 6 cards over in the hand and a Radiant Charizard peeking at us, but is there a way to get this Pokemon into the active spot and rolling?
A pair of Night Stretcher being played, each one able to put back either a Pokemon or an basic energy card from the discard pile into the hand. They will each grab an energy card, and we are going to see this one-hit KO, 6 energy cards discarded for the knockout.
Oh, I think we know where we're going here. Brent Tonisson promoting that Pokemon with the retreat already lined up. Legacy Star could search out for the Earthen Vessel Super Rod already in hand, so you can Super Rod that fire energy back in, or you can just grab it.
You can just grab the fire energy, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Legacy Star gets the fire, retreat into that Radiant Charizard, and come though. Ilya will have an opportunity to go first in this game, and Brent is far from guaranteed to be able to get a 1-prize Pokemon in the active spot. He's got plenty of outs, but it's not guaranteed. Ilya is going to be kicking things off here, going first, and we see the opener. Looks like it's the Gimme Ghoul for Ilya, and it's going to be that Mew EX for Brent.
Well, that's the second best option, I suppose. If you can't find the single prize Pokemon, at least have the free retreater in the active going second.
Ilya is going to kick things off with that Earthen Vessel, discarding an energy card in order to find a pair of energy from the deck. And look at those prize cards.
Wait, what? The Hisuian Heavy Ball and the Radiant Greninja at the same time, along with the Prime Catcher.
And just an attach and a pass.
That's not real.
This is what happens.
Is he going to do it again?
This is what happened to Brent Tonisson in his game 2 of top 8. Opponent goes attach, pass, and Brent Tonisson pops off and finds the way to win the game immediately. It doesn't look like we're going to make it happen here, but that was a huge opportunity. And Brent is also going to have to give Ilya an Iono.
Wow. I mean, you talk about the advantage that your opponent can have when you're surrendering that opening prize card, but this is basically the same thing when your opponent just has single Gimme Ghoul. They're probably not going to have a knockout here, but you need to give yourself a chance to have a single prize Pokemon in the active.
This goes back to what I was talking to Brent about in his interview. When is it worth it to go for the donk, for the turn 1 win, and when is it worth it to just play for your setup? He saw his hand. It wasn't strong enough. He didn't feel like the odds were quite there to get that turn 1 Ogerpon attack off. You know, he could have just attached and then gone for that Iono. But no, he wants to play it safe, gets that Regidrago down, and we're going to operate from here.
Right, and this time around, it is Cleffa that potentially could be the Pokemon in the active spot. You already have the free retreat. You could put that single prize Pokemon in the active position, and you know that you're going to have a dominating board state against an opponent who just attached past here.
Well, let's not forget, though, Ilya will have a brand new hand to work with. Was given that Mercy Iono from Brent here, potentially. So while it may, at worst, be one Golden Go in play, we still have to keep our eyes on exactly how this is going to work out. And also, there is still a chance Brent could win this turn.
Yeah, I mean, we're not terribly far away from it. There's the opportunity to play down this energy on the other Teal Mask Ogerpon, maybe find a third Teal Mask Ogerpon, double energy switch. There's still bench space for a Squawkabilly if you're feeling frisky. You can go for the knockout if the cards line up.
It depends on what else is in the hand here. There is another energy card that will be used with the Teal Dance. Drawing 1. What is the find? It's a Regidrago V-Star, and it is Squawkabilly. It looks like we are going to see the Squawk and Seize.
What about Dragon Laser, too? There's a chance he could go for this with the fire energy now.
All he needs now is 2 energy switch.
E-switch, 6 cards to see.
I don't see it here, Kyle. 0 energy switch found. Looks like 1 was in the prize cards.
All right, does he practice what he preaches now? There is still the restart option. Do you
How much do we overextend for this turn 1 knockout? I think we're going to pump the brakes here a little bit.
Oh, you think this might be Cleffa?
Yeah,
me too.
It would, I mean, he could technically go for it, but I think Brent, being the competitor that he is, recognizes that going for that, if he whiffs, which it's not super high odds he would hit, if he whiffs, he would put himself in a much, much worse position for it.
They don't give you more prize money for winning with swag, okay? if you win like this, you're going to be just fine.
You get a little bit more respect, though.
Okay, I think he's got enough. He's got 24 stipends.
It is indeed the Cleffa grabbed off of the Nest Ball. Mew can easily retreat into that to close out this turn, and we can see the Grasping Draw to fill the hand back up.
Oh, this is an embarrassment of riches. Can even go after another Pokemon here. Finds the Giratina V-Star, can throw it away with the Earthen Vessel, and then refresh the hand, holding boss's orders of all cards to go with it.
Able to find a Grass Energy off of this Earthen Vessel, getting down that key Giratina V-Star into the discard pile. We saw it be such a big deal in the last game. Brent making sure he's got plenty of options opened up. One thing we definitely have to mention about his setup, though, there is only one Regidrago V in play.
We've seen this before, and it's a bit of a weakness that potentially pops up. The good news is you really expect your opponent to have to attack through this Cleffa.
More than likely what we will see. Not before getting in the restart, however. Looks like not a playable card was drawn, so indeed it will be Grasping Draw. 4 more cards added to the hand. Research is not a bad one to see. Brent's sitting on a pretty nice hand moving forward. And let's see what that Iono yielded for Ilya.
Yep, a lot of work to be done. You cannot evolve these Pokemon if they weren't played on the opening turn, so it's just the single Golden Go opportunity. Plenty of Gimmighoul to be had, and Buddy Poffin doing just that.
And those Gimmighoul will hit the bench now. Looks like yet another Buddy Poffin. Actually, 2 more Buddy Poffin, and also the 4th Gimmighoul, so I don't really know what are we getting with these Buddy Poffins.
You know, you probably just throw those away with your Earthen Vessels and your Ultra Balls as you're moving along here, but this is not an ideal hand. I think there was a Pokestop in there as well, so you could continue to try to work your way towards that initial Golden Go, but you're not finding a supporter just yet.
You've got to do a little bit more work here, and we also have to be a little bit worried about the potential threat of the Kyurem from Brent Tonisson. We talked about it a little bit in Game 1. This current board is very scared of a potential Kyurem play.
The whole match is scared of that. There's nothing else right here, and I'm not sure if we're going to see Ilya even bench more. It looks like the Nest Ball's found, but remember those prize cards. They're devastating. There is no Radiant Greninja, no Hisuian Heavy Ball, so this is going to be a much slower setup.
It will be the Origin form Palkia V able to be found. This is a Pokemon that can attack even if these Gimmighoul do go down. But when you don't have that many benched Pokemon, Subspace Swell really starts to teeter off in how much damage it's able to do.
Yeah, I think that we can handle the Palkia V-Star deck when it only has a couple bench Pokemon and is trying to work its way through. Pokestop really needs to find some help, and that is 0 for 3.
3 pretty rough discards there. The energy being down isn't too bad, but
Shit.
No Golden Go EX. We're actually going to see the continuous coin toss.
Oh, could you imagine?
Only needed 1, actually. Cleffa, weak to metal. Does not quite work out here, though. It is the Tails, and we're going to kick it back over to Brent. And, I mean, what an opening, what an opportunity here.
Okay. That's ridiculous to see.
I would have been pretty hyped to see a continuous coin toss KO.
I mean, he's psychic, right? He looks metal.
Oh, he is a psychic type. The evolution, yes, you're right. Yeah, he is a psychic type. Uses the metal energy. You know what? It's okay. We will keep moving on.
I don't know if it's going to be relevant here, Chip. There's a devastating turn lined up. Pokestop, if it throws away or finds, my goodness. 2
Ultra Ball and the Iono going down. I don't think you mind getting rid of the Iono when those are the 2 cards you're able to find.
Yep. Immediately in the window, that Kyurem is going to be found, and that is a triple Gimmighoul knockout lined up. I don't know how you come back from this, but I'm excited to see Ilya try.
Ultra Ball will get rid of that Dragapult and finds that Kyurem. Kyurem discarded to the next Ultra Ball. And we are likely to see a Trifrost for 3 prize cards here.
And at this point, just continue to play your strategy. You're finding all of these different Pokemon to add into your discard pile. Give yourself all the different attacks that you might need throughout a long game, but one is definitely looking like the best option. You've used very few resources as far as your energy switches to get to this point. You still have the Legacy Star, and we're drawing even more. He's down to what, sub 10 cards? It's turn 2.
This is looking really strong here for Brent. He's putting himself in a dominant position. Hey, we might be tied 6-6 on prize cards, but make no mistake, Brent Tonisson is leading the charge in this match. A few teal dances adding a few more energy cards into play, drawing through the deck. And now Cleffa with the free retreat, able to move into the Regidrago V-Star. And are we indeed going to see the Trifrost? I think it's coming.
It makes too much sense at this point, and it sure enough will line up beautifully here. You can remove 3 of these Gimmighoul from play, and it just completely limits what Ilya is able to do. And actually, look at this, slowing down, wants to go after the Origin form Palkia, make sure that that 2-hit knockout would be lined up, maybe by way of Dragapult.
I think this is Brent recognizing that the odd prize doesn't help him.
Sure,
he can get rid of the Gimmighoul, and yes, it would limit his opponent's draw slightly, but if you can just go for the 2-2-2, not put yourself in a situation where you're going to get Ionoed to 1 later in the game, as long as you can always take a 2-prize knockout turn after turn, you will be A-okay.
Yeah, all of the punishes for a move like this are probably losing plays anyways. Professor Turo's here means that you're not going to be getting this knockout. You need to throw down not only an energy for turn, but also 6 more energies to take this knockout.
Well, a good start here is that letter of encouragement, searching the deck for 3 energy cards since a Pokemon was KO'd during Brent's last turn. 1 medal found with 2 waters to follow along behind it. But we saw no Golden Go EX on the last turn. Are we going to be relying on Pokestop once again to find us an out?
I mean, it was 2 Buddy Poffin, and the top deck looks like Morty's Conviction.
I think it's a Turo scenario.
I can't tell, yeah.
Here goes the Pokestop, and it does find a Nest Ball, but does discard another Golden Go. This Nest Ball can at least find Pheasantipity, but no, was the Pheasantipity prized as well?
It is prized.
Yes, it is prized, and Ilya really has nothing to grab here.
Yep, the shaking of the head. You know this is just painful right now. Any opportunity to come back in this game is slowly being taken away.
I've got 1 win condition here, Kyle.
Fade out.
Continuous coin toss.
All right, you found the odds.
14 heads in a row, 1-hit KO, Regidrago V-Star. That might be the win condition here, and I'm not joking.
Honestly, we've seen crazier, but you got to go for it at this point. How else do you stay in the prize contention race here?
I mean, it's got to be it. I mean, we're in a dire situation. Top 4 of an international championships. Professor Turo is the only supporter in hand. You can reset this Origin form Palkia V so that you don't lose to the Trifrost board wipe. Kyle, I think we're going for it.
Count it with us.
We're going to flip a coin. For each heads, 20 damage is dealt.
Yep.
We're not even going to get a little suspense. Are you kidding me? Give us a few heads.
0.
All right, 0 damage dealt from the continuous coin toss. Now back over to Brent Tonisson, and this is his game to lose at this point. As long as Brent doesn't make any mistakes here, doesn't receive any sort of penalties, doesn't have any sort of gameplay errors, he more than likely will be the winner of this game.
Finds the prime catcher to go along with all of these fantastic resources. And you're right here, Chip. You start to count to the deck. You see you've got 6 cards remaining. Don't deck yourself out in these spots. Make sure that you're making the most of your resources when you're trying to close this out. You can't afford to have any discarding attacks unless they're winning the game here. Charge up this Regidrago and keep going.
There's the attachment of the fire energy to the active. 1 energy switch in hand. The problem here could become that Brent has drawn through the deck a little too efficiently. If he uses Legacy Star, he will deck out. There are less than 7 cards, and he's got a Super Rod in the prizes.
Yep, there's also an energy switch at the top of the prize card, so finding that resource might be a little difficult. These are all great cards for this exact moment.
Yes, all 4 cards Brent would not mind having access to. It does look like he has the 2nd copy of Super Rod in his hand currently, so he can still use this Legacy Star, discard his deck, use the Super Rod to refill the deck, and we are indeed going to see that be the choice here. 7 cards discarded from the top. There's only 6 available. What do you think Brent is going to grab here? Looks like 1 energy switch for sure.
Yeah, that has to be the one answer that you're going with. And then maybe a card like, is there even an Iono that you want to grab? Well, Boss's Orders means you're going with the 2-turn clock here.
Looks like it is energy switch for sure. Just debating, wants to confirm before putting the cards to hand. really thinking through it. You find yourself in this position and you just want to make sure you play as carefully as possible. You don't want to find yourself somehow throwing away the game that you had nearly locked up.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Super Rod is being very cautious with. Make sure that you give yourself all of the resources that you need. You have a boss's orders, a prime catcher, an energy switch for this attack right now. It should all line up here, Chip.
Here is that energy switch, moving the grass energy from the benched Teal Mask Ogre Pawn EX into the active, jamming tower to get rid of Ilya's Pokestop, the only thing Ilya had going for him, and it will be Giratina V-Star using the Lost Impact, Lost Zoning 2 energy from Brent's side of the field and dealing 280 damage to the active, more than enough to get rid of Origin Form Palkia V-Star. And looks like 2 grass energy we're taking off the prizes for Brent as well.
Right. This is a play you can be comfortable with when you know your exact prize cards there. Energy Switch, Super Rod, or Double Grass. You're going to find that final resource you need to attack with the Regidrago V-Star.
And there's a draw for turn that is an Ultra Ball. We can finally see a Golden Go EX hit the field this game. And I do have to say, Kyle, if Ilya takes the knockout this turn, I don't think Brent can win on the next turn.
It requires help. you don't have the resources to attack with the Radiant Charizard
energy
just yet
switch still
because
in
your
the
opponent
prizes.
didn't draw enough prizes themselves.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to power up that Radiant Charizard since Ilya will have only taken 2 prizes. We are going to see the evolution. We can see a coin bonus to draw 2.
It's what Morty's conviction right here into Superior. It has to be big.
There's a draw. It is an Iono. That's not bad either.
That's pretty good.
That's not
We've
too
seen
bad.
crazier.
Send Brent's hands to the bottom of the deck. He'll get to draw 2. Ilya will be able to draw up to 6 now. But then you have to ask the question, where do you go from there?
There wasn't even a metal energy
Yeah.
on the Golden Go. I mean, we should have expected this. But yeah, that's it. This is so difficult. Ilya just grasping at straws, has the 6 cards now. Can you find some help? Maybe this big knockout, you can at least stall. You've got a counter catcher.
Got a counter catcher. There is a Pokestop in hand, so that can look for some superior energy retrievals. It does look like there's an Earthen Vessel as well, so you've got the potential of 6 energy cards right there. Looks like we will see Earthen Vessel be played, discarding the Buddy Buddy Poffin, searching the deck for 2 basic energy cards, eyeing up a metal and a water. I think it may come down to if, for this knockout at least, Ilya is able to find a superior off of this Pokestop.
Yep, plenty of chances here. Just those top 3 cards, and you haven't had to use too many resources, so maybe this will be the opportunity where you get a little bit lucky. We haven't seen much of that.
Yeah, things have definitely not gone in Ilya's favor in this game too, but the fact that we're back in a reasonable board state after things have gone so wrong thus far just proves Ilya's resilience, willingness to find a potential out here. Let's see what the move is. It's going to be the Pokestop. Can discard the top 3 cards of the deck. Any item cards are able to be added to the hand. And there are 2 superior energy retrievals found.
Unfortunately, losing that other copy of Iono, that might have been a really nice way to slow down your opponent. Again, that's the last copy that we'll see, but I think you're going to take what you can get here. A knockout at this point of the game is huge.
We will indeed take what we can get.
Chip, I don't know if there's enough energies in the discard pile.
I mean, yeah, we've not been getting through the deck very efficiently. That is a good point. Are there any energy?
I think there's 2, so this Golden Go's really trying to find Earthen Vessel.
Oh my goodness. No energy cards effectively in the discard pile.
Finds another superior.
One of the best cards in your deck, but not for this situation. No energy cards. I just assumed there were energies in the discard pile.
We're this far along in the game. This is not real.
That is the difference maker of the Radiant Greninja being prized, not having that consistent draw power, but also not having access to getting those energies into the discard where they're more easily able to be found.
Well, that's why you play the Hisuian Heavy Ball, and that's why you play the Fezandipity. That's why you play all of these resources, but they're all in the prize cards right here.
Ilya is going to have to go for this counter catcher stalling play. this honestly may work. Does Brent have one energy switch left? We know one is prized. He's used a few thus far.
You still have your ability.
He has the ability. Yeah, okay, so grass energy ability attach and then attach return to the bench. He did
The issue is
draw those prize cards that had the grass energy, right?
It's just there's a fire energy in hand though. You don't have the energies for the Apex Dragon.
He's gonna go for the teal dance. The only thing Brent needs to win the game here is a grass energy, and Professor's research may be able to guarantee it. How many cards are available in the deck?
Looks like about 9, and he's got a great opportunity here to do just that. We'll see. It's 8 cards. Is it the last one? Earthen Vessel and the grass energy both found, and that is enough here to close things out and move Brent Tonisson into the finals here at the Latin America International Championships.
Regidrago V-Star using Apex Dragon to copy the Lost Impact. 280 damage. Brent takes his final 2 prizes and 6-0s Ilya, moving to the finals.
What a master class we have seen.